It is going to be a very, very ugly several years for the Trump family. Donald Trump's organization is under criminal investigation now on the eve of Donald Trump leaving office. And I expect that January 21st, 2021, meaning Thursday, is going to be a fascinating day for Trump news. Trump is about to get whacked from 360 degrees with all sorts of investigations. CNN reporting that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is expanding its criminal investigation into the Trump organization's finances. It will include the family compound in Westchester County. Prosecutors are interested in this property called Seven Springs because it is related to many possible financial crimes, including understating by dramatic amounts the value of properties to save on taxes while inflating the value of those same properties when they're used as collateral for loans. We've covered that before. This investigation, again, it is a criminal investigation. It also is drawing closer not just to Trump himself, but to Eric Trump, not exactly known as the smart one. Eric Trump is the executive vice president of the Trump organization. He was directly involved in the apparent riffraff related to this property. Subpoenas are going out. There are requests for all sorts of files, emails, correspondence, and this really is a threat to Trump. Now, I want to be clear. This is not likely to put Trump in prison. These are criminal investigations into the organization, which would likely, if taken to their full conclusion and if they find guilt, they would lead to fines and potentially criminal charges against lower level people. Now, Eric Trump could count as a lower level person here. I don't expect to see Eric, Don Jr. or Ivanka locked up, much like I don't expect to see Donald Trump locked up. We have to have reasonable expectations. But this is something that is going to grow and grow and grow. And remember that within 24 hours, Donald Trump will no longer have the shield of the presidency to delay lawsuits and investigations. One of the arguments that has been used by Donald Trump's lawyers with some degree of success for the last 4 years, even while Trump was the nominee, the Republican nominee back in 2016. One of the arguments that Trump lawyers have used is this would encumber Donald Trump's ability to carry out his duties as president of the United States. We have to put this off. We have to put this off. We have to put this off. But now, within 24 hours, that's no longer going to be an argument. And we have both criminal and civil investigations happening related to the Seven Springs property and a whole bunch of other aspects of the Trump organization. We also are seeing the resumption of sexual assault cases against Donald Trump. And while I maintain I do not believe we will see a former U.S. president in prison anytime soon, and that means up to and including Donald Trump, this really could encumber Trump for a very long time. I know there are some in my audience who think Trump could end up in prison. They're waiting for the perp walk. I don't think we're going to see that, but the next couple of years are going to be nuts regardless. Prepare yourselves to be unable to keep up with the legal fiasco that is about to hit Donald Trump's family. I look forward to trying to keep up with it, but it will be really difficult to keep up with all that the Trump family is about to get hit with. The biggest challenge right now facing prosecutors is that there is so much possible criminal behavior to investigate that it will take years to unravel. They are going to have to break it up into pieces, and different offices, different squads, different investigative teams are going to have to look at different elements of it. And remember, we still have money laundering through the campaign. There are allegations that close to, I believe it was 160 or 170 million dollars was effectively laundered. These were donations from Trump supporters meant to go to the campaign. Hundreds of millions of dollars were reportedly laundered through a company controlled by Trump's former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, and used to be funneled back to Trump family members and to shell corporations with the doing of Jared Kushner. That story alone, like that has nothing to do with the Seven Springs property. That has nothing to do with lies told for tax benefits by the Trump family. That's a separate story, the campaign money laundering story. That one alone could take 2 years to unravel. So regardless of what comes of it, This is going to be hell for the Trump family for years. The legal fees are going to explode. Whether Trump will pay them is a question that remains open. We already know that even though Rudy Giuliani was billing 20 grand a day for his work on Trump's so-called election fraud campaign, Trump has said, don't pay Rudy. So who knows whether the lawyers will be paid, but millions of dollars in legal fees will be billed, and it is going to be a wild couple of years. So I hope you'll be with us for it, as well as tomorrow for Joe Biden's inauguration. We'll be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram at David Pakman Show, and follow me on Instagram at david.pakman.